All right, you got a crab on your head. You think we're beating Hopkins tonight?
The Big Dog Postgame Show is brought to you by Viener X Consulting. We make your company work. And by Rick Jacklich, the big dog himself, at the Jacklich Law Group.
Good evening from the deck here at CQ Stadium. Maryland takes it 11-8, and they get the Crab Trophy back. I'm Wayne Viener, Tony Wheeler, the legendary Bruce Posner. Sort of. Okay. Anyhow, guys, this is the Big Dog Postgame Show, but we got to start as we always do with Bruce. What did you see out there tonight?
I saw a game I knew before this game started. I talked about it with Tony. I talked about it with Tillman on Thursday at the presser, that you knew this team was up against the wall and they played like it. But I will tell you what I was impressed with, and it was a good thing it happened now. The way they penetrated in front of the net is something Tillman's learned from this game, I believe, because we were talking about it upstairs, and the first 5 goals were almost unstoppable. You could say McKnighty didn't have enough saves, but it was like from here to here. It was ridiculous. And then at the end, you know what? I was glad to see DK, Danny Kelly, come through, get the winning goal, get it propelled, and you need your senior, you need your leadership to do it. I thought our shot selection was disappointing. We were firing balls into their stomachs, into the goalie, but the goalie was great. I'm not taking anything away from him, but we helped him along.
Well, I want to ask Tony about that. We were talking as the game was going on, high-to-high shooting. Maryland continues to do that, and then it works in the end. What do you make of that?
You know, Orange Linus is probably going to win Big Ten Specialist of the Week this week. I mean, look, again, he makes 20 saves. That's not easy to do in a Division I game. But there were a lot of stick-to-stick. You know, he's not having to react even a lot. And it's funny because coming off of the Ohio State game where they purposely were shooting low, and a couple of their goals early on, the Terps are scoring low. And just as the game progressed, maybe they were getting a little too sped up on some of their shot choices. Just kept going high to high, and as Bruce said, hitting him in the chest on some occasions. And Tillman talked about that in the post-game presser, that he wasn't super happy with their shot selection.
So as the game gets tight, it's tied up. Actually, I'm going to take that back. It's after DK scores. Hopkins trying to tie the game. Kolar gets tied up around the 30-yard line. The ball comes out, and it's a long pole. He runs down, gets it to Lark in the middle of the field. He gets it off. Finally, Urksa scores. It was a beautiful play.
That was it, really, at that point. But I got to ask both of you something. Now, if I'm Peter Millman, okay, I'm looking at this and say, hey, wait a minute, guys. Our goalie came alive today. And Collison was unbelievable. He really was unbelievable
so well
today. You know, the other teams, Rutgers, well, not Rutgers, but Michigan State and Penn State, definitely Penn State, they're already in the tournament.
Right.
So is Maryland. They're not. All right? I think for the Hopkins fans who are watching this, and you know there will be some, I think they have a shot to run the table. I really do.
And you meant Ohio State, clearly.
Yeah, right.
If they get the kind of goalie play that they got today, if Jelinas can keep that up, and you know Hopkins has struggled a lot on offense all year, and maybe they got some little keys today. They moved Collison down to attack to try and get him some different looks. He did play really well in a facilitator role. They can absolutely run the table, because the other thing is, third quarter, they won all 5 faceoffs. They've got a really good faceoff guy. If they can get possessions at that rate and the offense comes alive and they get some good goaltending play, absolutely they can do what Michigan's done the last 2 years.
What's in it for Maryland now? We get a shot, hopefully, at Michigan. That's what I want.
Well, you want one of those wins to make up for the other losses. And I look at the Big Ten tournament and I go, that's nice, but I got to win the next tournament.
I know that, but when you lose to somebody 4 times in a row like Michigan's done to us, I want them. How about you? And I'll actually get a shot at Rutgers, but you never know if you will. But I really would like a shot at Michigan. I just would.
Just to even get the monkey off their backs now. Right. Michigan's won 4 in a row in that, and it's got to creep in their heads
Sure.
a little bit. But at this point, if you're Maryland, you're locked into probably in the NCAA tournament
You were if they lost.
but
You
a
were
1
if
or
they
a 2
lost.
seed now. They for certain are locked into a 1 or a 2 seed regardless. A win against Michigan is probably just a momentum.
That's all it is. There's nothing to be gained. I mean, look, winning the Big Ten championship is a tremendous accomplishment, but right now it's looking to the tournament, and I believe we have a couple possible games in there that they will get motivated
Well,
for.
let me ask you something, Wayne. Media poll to begin the year, Hopkins number 1 in the media poll.
Right.
They finished last.
Don't have a conference win.
Right. What I mean, if you're a Hopkins faithful, what do you say?
Well, I talked to some Hopkins faithful. This season just didn't work out. Everything went wrong. A lot of games, as even Bruce said, a lot of games look like tonight that maybe you could have won the game and you didn't win the game. You just didn't have.
Look, it got to be 8-8.
Yeah.
They could have won the game, but they didn't.
They had possession.
The horses that they have didn't produce when they needed them, and then the horses get injured, and the team isn't that deep. They brought up they're a little younger than they'd like to be, and everything went wrong. To me, it looked like a Maryland football season, where you're in the game, and then one guy you needed gets hurt, and all of a sudden you're playing a goalie who was on your scout team when they started. Now, he was great, but it just wasn't who they thought they were going to be.
As Maryland still leads 10-8, we're almost ready to go back to the game. Brett Makar, you said this is a great place. Just say that again.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I told some of the current Terps I saw this morning, I don't think you could have written a better script. Beautiful night, packed stadium in front of all the people that love and support you. It couldn't be better. So glad to be back and get to watch these guys dominate.
Yeah.
We were talking about Jesse created Brett.
Yeah.
He created Zapp.
Yeah.
He created Schaller. Which is magic. What is it?
He's a fantastic coach. He knows his players' strengths. He knows the areas of focus that they need to further develop in. And he's done a fantastic job here at Maryland. And I know that the program's in a great place because of guys like him.
And as Urksa pushes one wide, do you think back on those last few seconds up when you guys won the national championship?
Probably every day.
Yeah, very often. One, because all the guys that are here on this patio
And there's a lot of them out there.
that I've been hanging with have it tattooed on their body, so it's hard to forget about it. But also just let's go.
And that is Zach Whittier,
Let's
and
go.
Maryland is up by enough. Renee, you've been trying to get me out to a tailgate party all season.
Yes.
What is this?
Maryland Tailgate Luge. It actually has its own Instagram account. Every game they do a different theme and a different emblem on it. And today is the rivalry of Terps versus the unknown name team we're not going to name. Go Terps!
Every game with Maryland seems like a carbon copy when they play a good team. 11-8, 13-8 against Princeton, 13-8 against Penn State. What is it about that 8 thing? You know, it's
7 or 8 goals.
It's another game that a team did not get 10 against.
They've only had 2 games this year that they've given up 10 goals. They gave up 11 to Michigan. They gave up 10 to Notre Dame. And
If you want to talk about playing to the blueprint, doing exactly what they put on that board and what your goals are, can't get more than 8 goals. Don't get more than 8 goals. Dominate the possession. Don't shoot too fast. Score enough to win. Don't have a bunch of turnovers. You check the box, check the box, check the box. You win 13-8 every time. They're great at that.
I talked to Tills after the game. It was typical Tills.
Yeah.
I said, Coach, congratulations, great win. He says, oh,
Yeah,
we
yes,
got to
he-
straighten this
yeah,
out.
yeah.
I can't take this. I said, well, at least you have a week. I said, I don't have a day off. I got to get ready. I
Right.
got to prepare for two.
And he goes off and starts shaking hands. He was complaining between the end of the game and getting the handshake line
Right.
of everything that went wrong. But hey, enough stuff went right. I don't have a great feel about this game. It's wonderful that Maryland won. Clearly, we're Maryland guys. I'm not overly, it was there. It was there to be lost. It was there to be won.
You know
Maryland
what?
got it done.
Game's over. They won. They got the crab back for what that's worth, and it's worth something. And they came in second in the Big Ten in a convoluted kind of way because of the 5-game season. But at the end of the day, they're 10-2. Well, and like Tillman said, the 22nd straight year to win 10 games.
Amazing.
How tough is that?
It's unreal.
How tough is
it's
it?
unreal. And you can tell that this game in particular still means so much. 10,123 people came. Beautiful night here, at the stadium, but also a lot of alumni back. And after the game, we're cheering, cheering for those players coming off the field. The game still means a lot to Maryland and Hopkins.
And you know what? Having it here and having a night like this, what was that worth?
It's beautiful.
It was great. It was great. No matter where this game is played, it's a great game. Well, we'll thank Tony for anchoring tonight's coverage. His first day in the middle of this, anchoring this. I'm Wayne. That's Tony. That's Bruce Posner. Thanks as we wrap up the home season. Thanks to the Jacklich Law Group, the big dog himself, for sponsoring us all year. And, of course, to Viener X, our hometown IT team.
Week off next week.
And we have a week off. And then it's tournament time. We'll be back here in 3 weeks for the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll have a game here.
Yep,
We don't know when
hosting.
it'll be, and hope it doesn't conflict with Mother's Day's plans.
As it does every year.
It always does,
Yeah.
but we'll take it.
That's okay.
I'll take the heat for it.
Absolutely.
Connie's used to coming to Maryland lacrosse games for Mother's Day. It's a tradition. And with that, Maryland wins. Good evening from CQ Stadium.
Quick one. All right, Grandpa, the way they go today, baby.